Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about my favorite person in the entire world. Can you guess who it is yet? That's right, Christopher Malcolm John Malcolm Christopher Ingham. He is a legend of his own time. He's done so many wonderful things to inspire the world and the internet and YouTube in particular. So many people tell me every single day, Chris has inspired me. Chris is just an inspiration. And today we get to talk about that inspiration as he made the most phenomenal of inspirational speeches. It was, you had to see it to believe it. And today, as a special treat, I'm going to show it to you so you can believe just how inspirational it was, because it was fantastic and it makes me want to be him. It makes me want to be Chris Ingham. Chris, I've missed you. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. Because time waits for no man, and man waits for no time, and Chris is on a schedule.
Hence the beanie in 30-odd degree weather. This is what we do. So we've just left our beautiful camping spot where we spent the night last night. Best wild camping spot ever stayed at, hands down.
It was, I have to admit, it was a fantastic little beachfront villa, shall we say.
Oh my goodness, that place was amazing. Whilst we were there, we were staying with another motorhome that was there, an elderly couple. We were speaking to them just before we left now. Oh my goodness, this place we just found is insane. Let me show you this in a minute, but I'm just stood on top of a cliff top looking down at where we're going to right now. So we passed this place.
Chris, I've got to love how you're still wearing that same swim gear from that you got free from Qatar, not Qatar, what the hell, got that on the mind, from Dubai, right? Have you even washed it yet since you've got it? You seem to be wearing it day after day after day after day. Go in the water, you know, when you go in the water and you go swimming, you still got to wash these things. Just because it's technically water doesn't mean to say it's clean water. You've got to wash them, and that goes for the other kids and Sarah as well. You've got to wash the clothes, okay, after you've been swimming. Do you wash them, or do you just hang them out to dry at night?
On the way yesterday, and we just had another look at it on the way around the coastline, and we have to stop, it's that good. So we got talking to the couple that was with us in the motorhome next to us, and oh, what a lovely couple they are. They were from Germany, and they was so inspirational, and they really touched like a note inside of me when we were talking to them, because they're just how everybody just should be living their life. They are just the inspirational type of people, doing their own thing, living their life to the fullest, and just not caring what anybody else thinks, and just cracking on despite the fact that they were in the late 70s.
I'm going to stop you right there, Chris. I know exactly where this is heading, but I think the clue's in the fact that this couple are in their 70s. With no disrespect to anybody in that age gap or age range, but when you get to that age and you don't have any responsibilities possibly, and you have the money to do so, you know, you can do pretty much what you want. But when you're a little bit younger, which I'm thinking most of your IFAM are, no, you know, I think so, they don't really have this. I feel like this inspirational speech is going to be kind of lost on them a little bit.
And you know, they were just awesome. They were telling us that they come in the motorhome every single year to Greece from Germany. They take the ferry from Italy, like we will do next time, and they come here and they drive around the island. They've currently got 8 weeks to drive around the island right now. They've just got here, and they do this all the time. They travel all over the place, and they come back to Greece time and time again because it's amazing. But the point of it is they just come here in the motorhome, just the two of them. They've got their push bikes on the back of the motorhome. They go mountain biking. They wild camp everywhere. And they don't care, and they just crack on with life. They're getting out there and they're exploring and they're seeing and they're living the dream. They're living the life they want to live.
Okay, Christopher. Can I call you Christopher? Okay. Well, I feel like this is another story that's been made up. Maybe you met some people, maybe you didn't. I mean, you're not the most sociable of groups on the whole, right? So I can't imagine you striking up many conversations. But you and Sarah tend to do this to give yourself an out when you've been called out about like all this crap. It gives you a reason and an excuse for doing it. You want people to think that it's normal what you're doing, taking your kids away and everything like that, right? But this is your way of saying fuck you to everybody else, and other people are doing it, so this is what we're gonna do, and it's a good thing, right?
And I feel like there's so many people that get stuck in like a rut, or are scared of venturing out of their comfort zones and doing things like this, like they're doing. Or people think they're too old to do stuff like that, and they worry about the fact that they're a bit older or whatever, and they can't do it because, you know, I'm getting too old now. It's just never the case. It's not the case, and you should never live like that. You should always just grab every single day as if it's such a gift, like it might be your last one. Years and years ago, this is going to turn into a bit of a sermon, but not meant to be at all, and I'm really sorry if it's coming across like that, because it's not meant to be, but I'm trying to get out the right thing I'm trying to say here. Sometimes I'm good at saying stuff, sometimes I'm really bad. I feel like I'm being really bad right now, but a while ago now, I went to see my favourite artist, well, one of my favourite artists of all time, and he was giving this speech about how you should never ever let yourself get stuck in a situation that's making you unhappy, and you should never ever surround yourself by people that are making you unhappy or have a negative impact on your life and on your...
I kind of agree with that. That's quite good advice. Don't surround yourself with people who make you unhappy or are making you miserable. Surround yourself with positive people who have a positive impact on your life. However, for Chris, well, nobody has a positive impact on his life. That's why he travels around the world in his little van, because he can be on his own. Nobody can get to him. It's not that he's running away. It's just that he feels safer. He probably gets lots of different things called to him every single day whenever he's out anywhere. He's probably always looking over his shoulder. But when he's out in the countryside, in the wilderness where nobody knows him, he's happy. I get that. I understand what he means. And that's the only reason he travels to these far off places, because he can be relaxed doing that.
The way you feel and your emotions, and live every single day as if it's the only day you're ever going to have. And that's kind of one of the reasons why we try and live like we do, just to grab every single moment. So, you know, just in case, you know, you never know how long you've got here, right? It doesn't matter that, yeah, me and Sarah are young and all the rest of it, but it doesn't matter about that. You can be, you know, anybody can go at any single time in life. Not meant to be sounding morbid again, but still, that's kind of one of the reasons why we live like we do, to make the most of the time we've got here, while we've got time here. Make the most of the situation that we're in right now. Make the most of the fact that our children are young, and making memories with them and giving them the best memories as we can do to grow up with, and look back and be like, yo, we had such a cool childhood.
Okay, no. Just no. I think you have a weird and distorted, to use a Ruby Frankie terminology, distorted view of the world and childhood and everything else, right? Because you're saying that your kids will grow up and have the memories and say, oh, we had such an amazing childhood, it was so lovely. Will they though? Will they actually? That is the question. Because when I was a child, right, I never set foot outside the UK ever. Okay, it was a bit of a different time where people didn't travel quite as often overseas, but they still did. And but I never went. I went on a holiday every couple of years with my family, but it didn't negatively affect me. It didn't bother me in the slightest. We had nice holidays when we went, but I had an amazing childhood. I had lots of friends. I had some very good friends. And you see what the difference is there? Your kids have each other. That is it. Right? And I grew up with some siblings as well. So it's not like I missed out because I didn't have them. Like, because I did. But your kids are growing up insular. They have no friends whatsoever. And you can say, oh, you're like, oh, they got friends, but where are they? Why don't you ever invite one of their friends on holiday with you? For example, you're always going on holiday, and apparently you have the money to do so. You have the money. Why don't you invite one of their friends to come along with you for one of your little trips? That was something that we did as a child as well. So I'm thinking that your kids are going to grow up, and yeah, they'll say, we had these holidays, we were always traveling about, always on the move, never got settled. I missed not having friends. Guarantee that is one of the things that they will look back on in future and say, I missed out on having friends as a child. I wish I had that good friend as a child. Absolutely everybody, and I can't imagine there won't be many people that does not want to have or have had friends. I don't know what world you're living in, Chris, but just get out of it, please.
That's why we do what we do, and people like meeting other people like we did today really inspire me, and I just really I don't know, I want to give a message out to anybody that feels like they can't do the things they want to do. It might not be traveling the world in a motorhome, it could be anything, but if anyone who's stuck at home feeling like they just can never do the things that they dream of doing, you can do them. You can do them. There's always a way to do anything that you want to do in life, and to not be scared. Push yourself out of your comfort zone all the time. Never ever ever avoid doing things you want to do because you're scared that it might not turn out right, or you're scared you're too old, or you're just scared in general. You've got to push yourself through that because life is so short.
Chris, you are so out of touch. It's unbelievable. This whole speech, or sermon as you called it, is so out of touch with reality. It's unbelievable. Do you know that tomorrow, 1st of October, tomorrow, the UK specifically are going to be hit with a huge energy price hike, right? Were you aware of that? Are you aware of that even? Because you don't seem to know much, right? People are on the breadline. The energy price rises are huge and extreme, and giving people an option whether to eat or to heat. That is an actual thing. I know you don't have this problem because, you know, you're living out of a van and getting things for free from campsites, water and electric and stuff. You're getting them for free. You said that the other day. And people here are not quite so lucky. They are going hungry or going cold. And everything else in the shops the prices are rising at such a rapid rate, and people are really, really struggling. It is like crisis over here. And you're there saying, oh, well, you know, if you really want to go, you should just do it. Well, how? You don't seem to have any comprehension. Even when you get back to your little house, big house, mansion, you probably live in this like little bubble, and Maybe you won't even tell Sarah that the prices are going up of everything, because she doesn't know. She'll probably say, "Oh look, the pound shop has now become the £1.10 shop," and she will be like, that'll be on her brain. Just you know, the price of plastic plants have gone from £1 to £1.35 or something, right? That will be her way of thinking. The rest of us will be, well, a loaf of bread. I can no longer afford that, you know. But you just keep living your best life, eh, Chris?
And you only get one go. You know, if you're lucky, you get 80 times around the sun, right? If you're lucky, you get 90. If you're very, very lucky, you get even more than that. But it's not a lot. It goes very fast, and you need to make the most of every single second. And I just love meeting people like that couple we met today who are doing that every single day. Loving life, living their dream, following their passion. We even met a woman, I know Sarah talked about this when we were in Croatia, who was in her 60s. She's incredible, and she was literally cycling from the UK. She actually cycled to Croatia from the UK. I don't know where she's now. We have some numbers. I haven't spoken to her in about a week or so, but she is...
Is this the point that you secretly find out that she's changed her number?
Incredible. She inspired me so much because, again, she's in her 60s and she's cycling across Europe on her own. She's a solo cyclist across Europe in her 60s, and that is incredible. The fact that she's just following her passion for cycling and for travel, and she's doing it. She's living her dream. It's easy for me to say sometimes things like that, right? And I'm sure some people watching this are going to say, yeah, but it's easy for you to say da 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 da. I get it. Like, not everybody can afford to follow their dreams, and not anybody right in this moment of time has the time outside of work commitments and other commitments to follow their dreams and stuff. I'm just saying, keep your dreams in your mind, because one day you need to make them happen. And if you can make them happen today, if you have an opportunity to make them happen today, then do it. Don't put it off and put it off and put it off. Don't say, I'll do that when I'm older, da 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 da, because you might not get an older. Do it now. Anyway.
Well, on that particularly morbid bombshell, I'd like to draw your attention, Chris, to a couple of things that you've been up to recently which have not gone down too well in Dougal HQ or in the wider community. You have been spotted putting your kids in danger again. Shock horror. Mila and Jace playing in the front cabin of your van while Sarah films. Fuck knows where you are, but the door on the other side is open, on the driver's side, and Mila could fall out, fall over, do anything. Jace is climbing up on the seats. Do you have any concept whatsoever of child safety? Do I even have to ask that question? Is that a silly question? Aside from that, you filmed your 13-year-old daughter almost naked. It is still there, by the way. I don't know if you've actually been told. Has anyone told him yet? Because he doesn't seem to be aware, because it's still there. Not that that's any indicatory factor. You've been filming your kids, your girls specifically, in inappropriate positions and just pimping them out again. Esme is the one you're targeting now because she is the new Isabel, if you like. So I get why you're doing that. It's not right, Chris. It wasn't right with Isabel. It's still not right now. You understand? Anyway, I'll leave you with that, Chris. You've got lots to do. You've got to edit a vlog. You've got to edit your kids out of vlog. You know, you've got to fix a lot of stuff, right? And you've got to drive back to the UK. So, it was nice talking to you again, Chris. And we'll catch up again soon, yeah? Take care, everybody else. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Take care. Bye-bye.